I just don't get it. I might never get it. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. How the heck are we doing, guys? I hope everyone is having a good week so far. We are rolling along. I've got the Mint Collective in Las Vegas this coming weekend. I'm trying to get some sleep, trying to get ready for this thing, but man, it's been a brutal work week and there's just a lot going on, family-wise, everything. We will continue to press on, but I am excited to see friends out there at the Mint Collective and meet some new people. That's the goal. Brad and I are heading out there. Brad, the comeback card investor. We're going to be there and we are there to see friends and also make new ones. So looking forward to seeing you all there. How does this company continue to get zero respect? I do not understand it. I don't understand how people, and maybe honestly, I know people say like the hobby is getting smarter. This is one, and actually I've been taking advantage of this for a while. I feel like there is an amazing opportunity to buy the same damn card that looks great in an SGC slab for a discount of PSA. And it just is hilarious to me. You hear over and over again, buy the card, not the grade, but really it's more of like people just buying the slab and not giving a crap about the card that's in there. If it says PSA 9, that's it. PSA 8, whatever. I just don't get it. SGC has just been crushing it really for the last 12 months. I mean, they're meeting expectation. The pricing is right. And really it's paying off for them. They have graded a lot more cards than they have really in their history, especially modern cards. It's really been a huge, huge move, big waves into modern cards where historically SGC had been a go-to for vintage cards and still are. You will see pricing that is similar to PSA for vintage cards. And that's even going, when we think vintage, that's not just 50s, 60s, 70s. That's 80s cards as well, where you'll see SGC comping, an SGC 9. We've actually done comparisons on the channel. John Elway, 84 Topps, rookie card, SGC 9 has actually outpaced the PSA 9 in certain instances. So for certain cards, if we're looking at 80s and going back, SGC pricing is very, very similar to what PSA is. But the modern stuff, it absolutely blows my mind. SGC 10s are my best friend, and SGC 9.5s, frankly. But again, if you are going into certain numbered stuff, not all numbered stuff, because we've talked about this too, where numbered stuff is everywhere. Now there's so much numbered stuff, it's hard to keep track of all the numbered stuff. But if we go back in time a little bit, not just like 2018 to 2022, there's a lot of numbered stuff that's really quality stuff. Inserts, all sorts of different things, whether it be sports cards or non-sports cards, whatever it is. But it just makes me laugh. I've also been reminded by hobbyists lately, longtime hobbyists. I've been back in for about 4 years, so that's the amount of time that I've seen this thing kind of evolve. And I have heard a lot of talk about BGS, PSA really being about the same price going back pre-2017. You're seeing a lot of similar pricing for BGS grades compared to PSA grades and SGC. You just didn't see as much SGC stuff. But I am predicting there will be a look back where people say, man, I could have got SGC 10s for half the price of the PSA 10. I can't believe I missed out on that opportunity. I could be totally wrong. Obviously, I can't see the future. At least maybe not. But yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. All I know is that SGC's grading is easily on par with PSA. And really, when you look at all of the grading companies, the big four grading companies that we always talk about, PSA, BGS, SGC, and CSG, you're really looking at all of them being solid graders and authenticators for the most part. And I understand there's going to be people that are like, this company can't authenticate, or they missed that one. They missed this Pokemon card, or they missed this basketball card, or the first card they ever graded was a trim card. I get that. Every single company is going to have those examples, every single one of them. But the reality is that these are big companies, long-time grading companies that have been doing it. PSA is always going to be under the microscope because they don't have a 9.5. And so what you're going to have are PSA 9s that could have been 10s, 10s that could have been 9s. And that I see this all the time. I see examples on YouTube all the time of like, I got a 10 on this, thought I was going to get a 9, or this is a 9. How is this not a 10? Here's the same card in a 10. What are the differences? And my problem with this is the difference in price point between the PSA 10 and the PSA 9. That's the only reason why I have an issue. If there was not such a dramatic price difference between a PSA 10 and a PSA 9, especially on high-end cards, then it wouldn't even really matter if it was a small discrepancy. But the fact that there's no in between and it's just like which grader gets a hold of it on which particular day, and have they had a good day? Did they get lunch or not? It's crazy. And that's, of course, why you see a lot of the cracked cases send it back in to get that 10. That is why people do that, is because they're just thinking like, man, all I've got to do is just hit on this 10 and it's 5 times what a 9 is. Now, I know that's going to be more difficult as time goes on. As PSA, a lot of these companies, they're putting a picture of the actual cards that they're grading, and they're trying to kind of stop this slab, the crack to reslab type stuff. I know they're trying to figure out which cards they've already graded and so forth. And especially with the amount of money being spent on 10s. It's an incredible amount of money. It's an incredible amount of money being spent on 9s, let alone 10s. But man, it's just, there's such small discrepancies. And sometimes we don't have any grader notes. We don't have anything from any of those companies. Now, we did talk to SGC. Brad and I had talked to Peter, the CEO of SGC, and he hinted at grading notes. We brought it up on the live stream, and it kind of feels like that's coming. SGC is going to have some sort of grading notes, I think. Maybe it'll be an extra charge. I'm speculating here, but it just seemed like that was something that was on the horizon, which would be awesome. At least you've got something to work with, especially with vintage cards. That would be very, very helpful to figure out because there's so many different ways to look at a vintage card. Was there fading here? Was there, a little bit of paper loss? What was it that got it a 3 instead of a 5? Those are the types of things that are going to be really fun. Another thing I want to address is there's a lot of talk of, once PSA gets it down to $25 a card, and then SGC is $20, $25 a card. It's about the same. Nobody's going to go to SGC, and SGC is going to go out of business. I don't think that's going to happen, and here's why I think that it's going to be different. I think that there are going to be loyalists to certain companies, and a lot of that's going to be due to the experience that people had with PSA over the last couple of years. A lot of people are not happy with that backlog. I hear it all the time. I hear it on podcasts. I hear it on YouTube. I see it in the Facebook comment sections. I see it all over the place where it's like, wow, they're getting these cards out at $50 a pop in a month, and I still have cards sitting there for 15 months. And I get it. Maybe they paid $8 for a sub, but that still is going to rub people the wrong way over, it's like, but 15 months though, 2 years, is this going to be like 2 years? I understand that it was an $8 fee, but man, that's an incredible amount of time. And then I also believe people are going to care about the grading service. And in other words, if SGC, let's just say they come out with grading notes and it's the same price, go to PSA, go to SGC, and maybe, I don't know, SGC adds another couple of features. There's no reason why one of these grading companies, any of these grading companies can overtake another grading company. So much of this is based on trust. It's based on reputation. And, you had a lot of people that got in over the last few years to flip cards. So, PSA's got a massive backlog because they've got loads and loads and loads of stuff. And we've talked about it being, 90s basketball cards, base, all the base, the flood of base cardboard that PSA has got, but that was a flood. That was a moment in time where they weren't necessarily worried about, any of the other details. It was just like, we've got to get our cards in because the second it gets graded, it's worth 2x or 5x or 10x. All that is slowed down. And now it's forcing people to have to think about man, I need to get an accurate grade. I want to make sure my turnaround time is good. I got to make sure a bunch of things. So this is going to be really, really fun and interesting, guys. So this is a little rant about how I'm excited to see the gap close on a lot of this stuff. And it's not even just with SGC, PSA, with any of these companies. I think any of these companies have a chance, to kind of break through and for people to see that as far as resale goes, there is not one that's better than the other. There is no reason whatsoever that PSA should be 2-3x or whatever it is, of an SGC slab or a CSG slab or a BGS slab. It doesn't make any sense. And I know it's going to be card by card. It's going to depend on set. And let me also say, I'm not sponsored by SGC. I'm not being, any sort of special treatment at all. When I see a company doing good things, doing the right things, and just kind of moving in the right direction, and they also happen to be kind of an underdog in an industry, they're kind of in that, third, fourth, moving up on second. I think a lot of people would say that they've overtaken BGS versus number 2. But the point is this is a company that's really come on strong over the last 12 months, and that needs to be recognized and appreciated and applauded. So SGC, I can't talk. Guys, you know what I'm saying. SGC, I'm happy to see that you guys are making moves, and we will see what happens. Guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.